In this video, I'm going to show you how to use the parameters within CabWriter to draw a variety of cabinet styles. The power of CabWriter is the fact that it's a parametric drawing program, which means we can set the parameters as we need to draw a variety of cabinet styles. And we can mix and match that within the same model. You'll notice this model here is mostly a frameless kitchen, but we have some styles that we've drawn in, like for the end panel, the connector styles here but not over here, the end styles for the refrigerator cabinet, but there's no rails in the kitchen at all. We do have some butt styles here in the corner to provide clearance. And let me turn the countertop off and the appliances off. And today I'm going to draw for you this cabinet here, the island. You'll notice the island is kind of a strange mix of a face frame cabinet here at the end and a couple of frameless cabinets, but we do have an end style here, which is a sheet style because it's just got a plywood sheet. In this particular island, we're going to have beadboard here. I didn't draw it as beadboard, it's just a plain sheet, but around the back and the sides. So I want to show you how we do this, and we can mix and match and turn off and on parameters as needed to draw the various cabinets. So I've got a fresh file here that we can show, and you'll notice I've laid out my construction lines here. This defines the outer portion of the island, 72 inches long, and it's 40 inches from the face of these cabinets over to here. So we've already got that in, and let's go back to the other one here and look real quick. This is going to be for a microwave here and books down below. So we wanted to get an interior dimension of 14 and 11/16 with the face frame that's 15.5 deep. So notice what's going on back here. We've got a 1/2 inch back, and we've got a style right here, the end panel style, and it's 3/4 of an inch in to the back from the edge of that style, which is 1.5 inches. So we have some set parameters that set that for us, but we got to switch back first to our actual drawing. And I'm going to open my parameters tabs, and what I need to do is go over to the base cabinets, and that setting is right here. So carcass gap, how far from the back to the wall. We decided we wanted that to be 3/4 of an inch. I can update that. And I want to go now to my face frame tab because I got to make sure. Remember, I loaded my frameless settings before, and there's certain things that I want to set here for this cabinet. If we go back to it, we can see that it's actually more of a face frame cabinet than a frameless cabinet. So I might be better off just using my face frame setting. So let's do that instead. I'm going to go back to my drawing, and I'm going to load in my face frame settings. And now we're going to go back and look at here, and if you look at the face frame, pretty much everything is turned back on again, which is what I want, except for my bottom rail, which I don't want in this particular case, although I could turn it on. And I'm going to go back to my base cabinet here and change that setting for 3/4 inch to the wall. So let me update that. And let's quickly run back to this drawing here, and we can see that if we're 15.5 for interior dimension, then I got an extra 1/2 inch to the wall, which is at 16, and then this 3/4 inch gap, which will be filled by the 3/4 inch side on the frameless cabinet. That puts us at a total depth of 16.75. So we need to remember that when we draw our cabinet. So let's go back and actually draw this cabinet. So let me rotate around here. And we're going to go to our story stick tool. out of what I was doing before. All right, so I'm going to start with this style here, because notice the cabinet is, the front is actually over here to the side. And this left end style is going to be a sheet style because I just want a piece of plywood along the back. But the right one, if you recall, is actually a panel. So I'm going to make that a right end panel. Now, that's all I'm going to do for this one. So I'm going to hit end. And the depth of the cabinet, if you recall, was 16 3/4, not the default of 24. Thickness of the countertop height's still good. Everything's still maple. And what are we going to use for a box type? So what I'm going to use is just a standard base. I'm going to say no doors and no shelves. We're going to add some in later. I'm going to say OK, and that gives us this box. See, we've got a panel here at the back that we'll play with later. Right now, I don't have anything in the middle here, but I do have a panel on the other side. So that's good. And what I can do is play around a little bit here. So if let's go back to our other thing here, and I can see that I've got a rail at about, we're going to call it 14 10/64, which is 5/32, 14 and 5/32 down. So let me just do that for convenience. Go back to our model. And I'm going to just draw myself a guideline on the blue axis. I can get to it. 14 and 5/32 down. And notice CabWriter locks all its components when it draws it. So I'm going to unlock this one. And I'm just going to copy it using the SketchUp move command. I'm going to hit M for move. I'm going to grab the top of it here and hit the Option key that copies it. And I'm going to drop it down there. Now, I only want a 1-inch rail in the center. So remember, all CabWriter parts are just simply a SketchUp component. And notice both these are the same because I copied it. So I need to make this a unique component. And let me just edit it and just use the push-pull tool in SketchUp to drop down a 1/2 inch so that it's only 1 inch thick now. Now I need to move it quickly back up using the move command to the line that I had. And now I've got that in there, but I need another fixed shelf. So I'm going to just grab and unlock. I just right-clicked on the component to unlock. And I'm going to just grab this bottom, and I'm going to move it up by copying it. So I'm going to hit the Option key with the SketchUp move, and just move it up blue axis till it's flush. And then I like to have it moved up another 3/8 of an inch so that I've got a little lip there. I'm just going to move it up on the blue axis again, 3/8 of an inch. I'll type in 3/8 of an inch. And there we go. Now notice if I open the Extended Entity Info box, there is no, it's considered the same as the bottom. So both of these are the same component. So I've got the same information on both of them. However, this one, because I made it unique, has no attributes at all. In a future video, we will show you how to add attributes to this part so that CabWriter knows it exists. Because right now, CabWriter does not know that this component exists, so it won't number it, it won't cut list it, and so on. So we'll deal with that later. So now we've got the basic structure here. And what we need to do now is draw the rest of the cabinet. So I'm going to move over here so I can see where my construction lines are. And I'm going to use the Construction Plus tool palette that we also can provide. And it's got a nice tool for putting a construction line out here, or a construction guide point. And I want to put it out at the same 16 3/4 where this cabinet ended. Because I'm actually going to draw a cabinet that's starting from here over to here. So this point is 3/4 of an inch back from the end here. So I'm going to draw another guide point 3/4 of an inch back. So I just clicked here first, moved over, and typed in 3/4 of an inch. And that gives me my guide point. So my other cabinet is going to be a frameless cabinet, and it's going to go from here all the way down to the end. So now I want to go back and load my frameless settings that I created specially for this kitchen earlier. And I want to go double check a couple things. Particularly on the face frame here. I want to double check my lower sheet style. It was saying it wasn't drawing it before, but I want to draw it now so that I've got a style over here at this end covering the sheet on this side. And also, I don't really, if I'm going to start drawing my cabinet right here, if I draw that as a frameless style on this end, it's going to bring the drawer and door all the way over to this point, and I don't want that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to leave all this as is, and I'm going to override my butt style when we get there. You'll see what I mean here in a sec. So let's start drawing. So I'm going to go back to my tool, my story stick tool, and I'm going to start drawing down here. So I'm going to call this my right end sheet style. Notice it drew it hopefully 1.5 inches wide. Then I'm going to go down here and I'm going to type in, I clicked here, I'm going to just drag my story stick tool over, and I'm going to type in 3/4 of an inch. And then it can ask me what type of style I want. I'm going to say a butt style just for convenience. And it's going to draw me a little 3/4 of an inch wide butt style there. And you'll see why here in just a sec. So my openings are going to go from here to here. And I would like 2 equal size boxes in between. So I'm going to go to my centering tool. So I'm going to click the control key once, and you'll see the stylus or pencil turns to a C. If I click here, I click there. And it puts, in this case, since I'm drawing frameless, this is actually a virtual style. And what it represents is the 2 3/4 inch cabinet sides coming together. So where our boxes come together. So that's all I need. And I'm going to hit the end key. And I'm going to leave the depth of cabinet at 24 inches. And I'm going to leave the height of the countertop at 36 and so on and all this material. And I'm going to, here what I'm going to do is select the box type, the standard base with drawers. I want 2 doors, but I want only 1 drawer. So I can leave it like that. Then I'm going to make this one also the same thing. 2 doors, 1 drawer. And say OK. And there you go. Now you'll notice here that I've got this little extra style there. And all I have to do is unlock it and delete it. And you'll notice I had set up the width of this very carefully so that the back of this cabinet comes right behind the sheet style. So now I've got most of my cabinet here, but notice that I do have a sheet over here on this end that's going to represent my beadboard. And I've got a partial sheet going down this side, but it's a simple matter. since it's just a SketchUp component, to unlock it and pull it down to meet this guy. You'll also notice that I need to pull this one just a little bit, so I triple click on it because it's just a SketchUp component. Choose the push-pull tool up here, which is the P key, or this tool, and I'm just going to pull this out to meet it. Now actually what I want to do is miter this corner, so I'm going to triple click on this one again, choose the push-pull tool, and pull it out. So I triple click on it again, and just draw a line from here to here, and push this all the way down my 30 3/4 inches. Then I can do the same with this one. Draw a line, push it 30 3/4, and now I've got a mitered corner. And that is my cabinet. A very simple kitchen island. Maybe not so simple because it has both face frame and frameless in it, but you could see how we can manipulate the parameters as we need them to draw different types of cabinets. Now, if I turn everything off, except for the ladder base, you'll see that I've got some manipulating to do here. I'm going to have to delete a few components, maybe stretch some of these out, and create a more uniform base, because it created a base for this cabinet and created a base for this cabinet, and they don't really line up. Because I do want my 3-inch toe kick on this side, and maybe a 3-inch toe kick on this side, which it already has. And just make sure things line up and I get the stretchers in place. So I can copy and paste, push, pull, do whatever I need, because these are simply SketchUp components. If I create a new one, I will have to add attributes to it later, which I will show you in a later video. Now, if I were to redraw this cabinet here, it would try to redraw it with the parameters that I've got currently set. And I don't want it to do that. So I would have to switch my parameters back to this one. I could have saved them in a special parameter file, which is one way to do it. In the future, CabWriter will remember the parameters you use to draw a cabinet. So when you edit a cabinet or redraw all cabinets, it would redraw it the same way that it did before. For now, though, it would be wise to remember when you're doing something like this, and create a set of parameters, just simply save them up here using the save command. And that way, if I need to keep playing with this cabinet, after I've drawn these, I could just reload those settings again and change them. So that's how you use parameters to draw a variety of cabinet styles. Thank you.